in case you haven't heard the news, something major is being proposed. So that's a 50-year mortgage. Okay. Traditionally, we look at 30-year mortgage options, but the White House is proposing a 50-year option. And you may be thinking, that's going to help save me money at the end of the day. What does that look like? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm going to share it with you. So let's take a $400,000 loan on a 30-year term at 6.5%. You're paying just over $2,500 a month for your principal and interest. However, if we do that on a 50-year term, you're about 2254, which saves you about 273 a month. And you would think that's great. And you might be saying, well, Jordan, that's wonderful. Like that's a good chunk of money to help me save every month. And you would be right. However, let me give you a little bit more information. So let's look at the whole picture. On a 30-year mortgage, in total, you would pay roughly $910,000. The interest portion of that 910 would be about $510,000. Okay. However, if you look at a 50-year term, $952,000 is going towards interest, which is a difference of $442,000. At the end of the day, purchasing a home is on your list of things that you want to do in this life, and I'm for sure the person to call and help you with that. However, if a 50-year mortgage gets passed, and this is what the numbers look like, which they are because I help people every day, saving $273 a month to then pay an extra $442,000 for the life of the loan is ridiculous. And in my opinion, not the way to fix this housing crisis, but hey, that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, some of that we've been seeing on other videos. Some of that I agree with, some of I don't. Yeah, first off, I do agree that this 50-year mortgage, I don't think that's going to be like the big thing to actually solve this issue. I think it's something that we just got to help out like in other ways, like interest rate. Again, the interest rate shouldn't be already 6%. And again, we were seeing other videos, they were talking about increasing that for 50-year. So whatever we're getting, that 1.7 million that you may pay on a 50-year mortgage for a $400,000 home, that may end up being over 2 million, possibly even 3 million, depending on how high they increase that interest rate versus the interest rate that they're giving currently, about that 6.5-ish for a 30-year loan. So we're already at a big, crux right there. Secondly, most people aren't going to be paying that full amount anyway on a 30-year loan and a 50-year loan. So I think that's not like a big thing to really worry about right there. But again, just the amount that, I can't even say that you're saving, because then we have people again paying a whole lot more on rent who want to be able to afford a house. They can't afford it because they need a down payment. They need all this other extra stuff. So